Maryland's Hena Khan has always loved books and was an avid reader as a child. She loved the memories of books that stayed with her, and she wanted to create that feeling in other children. So she took up writing. One of her most popular series is Zayad Saleem, Chasing the Dream.
Each book has a basketball kind of title, like Power Forward is the first one. And it was a really fun series for me to write because I took a lot from my personal life. I'm the mother of two boys who both play basketball. My husband loves basketball. We've been longtime Washington Wizards fans, so the book is set locally in Maryland, and my protagonist is a Washington Wizards fan who loves all-star point guard John Wall, for better or worse, in terms of being a Wizards fan in general. He suffers with the rest of us. But it was just really fun to explore a character who, it's not an issue book, it's not heavy in any way, it's just a kid who happens to be a Pakistani American Muslim who loves basketball, and him going through his life, a lot about friendship and family and culture woven in, which are things I like to write about.
Her latest novel is the award-winning Amina's Voice.
I came up with the concept for Amina's Voice really because it represents in many ways the story that I would have wanted to read when I was a child, and I never saw myself represented in the literature, and didn't realize it until I was an adult, like what was missing and how much that impacted me. And so I definitely wanted my own children and other children to find themselves in a book. But at the same time, I really wanted to write for a much wider audience and for readers of all backgrounds to get to know a modern Pakistani American family that in many ways resembles mine, and get to know a character like Amina, who is sort of an unlikely hero. She's a shy, self-conscious, quiet girl who has a beautiful singing voice that she's afraid to let shine. She's very concerned about her relationships and focused on her friendships as she's entering middle school and adjusting to the changes that brings, along with changes in her family and a visiting uncle from overseas. So she's trying to balance, being a regular middle schooler with being a Pakistani American Muslim, and it all sort of comes to a head when her mosque is vandalized. And it's something that I included in the book because I knew it was something, unfortunately, that was starting to happen with increasing frequency. Not the frequency we're seeing today when I wrote the book, but something that I hoped would help promote empathy and understanding of what it would be like to go through something like that, and start conversations that I think we need to have as a wider society, unfortunately.
Amina's Voice was named a Washington Post Best Book of 2017, a NPR Best Book of 2017, a Kirkus Best Book of 2017, and a Goodreads Choice Award finalist.
It makes me really excited to know that readers are connecting with the story, and that, like all writers, I face certain hurdles getting it published, and so it's very validating and encouraging to feel that people are connecting and wanting to share the story, and just to know that by getting these awards or being put on state lists, that it'll propel the book and hopefully get into the hands of more readers, which is what I ultimately want.
Khan's work offers a lot of readers a glimpse into cultures that they may not know well, and that's a goal she constantly works towards.
I think especially now, when for some reason people seem to be polarizing more than ever and focusing on differences instead of what we have in common, I think it's really important to have voices that haven't been heard before included in the mix of stories that are available to kids and adults. I read middle grade fiction, and love it. And I just think that the more we can try to understand each other, especially when we don't always have access to each other in social settings or in community settings. I know specifically with regards to the American Muslim community, I think 60% of Americans fairly recently were polled as saying that they didn't know a Muslim person personally, and I think if you don't have the chance in real life, then what better way than to get to know somebody through story and hopefully be able to walk their experience and see what their lives are like, and like I said, hopefully see that commonality that people seem to be missing these days.